Hello, I'm Renee. I'm here with Soul Union. It's a nice little game. I saw it was from the same maker as Soul Labyrinth, so I decided to check it out. It looked nice. The prologue. The womb. Man's first expression, like his first dream, was an aesthetic one. Speech was a poetry outcry at his own helplessness before the void, by Barnett Newman. Once upon a time there was 3 tribes of people. The humans, the beasts, and the elves, like in Soul Labyrinth. The elves had long studied the fabric of our world. Thread by thread, people again. They examined it. They touched it, tugged it, spun it, the weavers. Thread by thread. Is that their motto? Thread by thread. They weaved and weaved until our world was woven to their liking. And by thread, their souls twisted and gnarled, becoming irrevocably tangled. Oh. Dot. Who am I? I have no idea. This is very troubling. No, these emotions are not helpful. Calm down. Why can't I find the answer? Who am I? This should be basic information. Fine. A name is just a trappings anyway. My name eludes me, but there's something more. Besides a name, then, what the hell else can I know about myself? This frustration is confined in me. All this vast emptiness is lonely. Something must have occurred to have led me this current state. At least these cognizant thoughts. Let me focus and see what I can do. Time for an exercise in introspection. Strangely coherent given my circumstances. Let me focus and see what I can do. Well then, what more can I know for certain? How about my character? What is it I value most? The pathway I create, the others I share my existence with, understanding meaning behind everything. What do I care the most about? Me. Me as a person. Not this character. Me. Did I need that pep talk? Yes. Yes, I did. The pathway I create, the others I share my existence with, understanding the meaning behind everything. It's not... Well, is it others I share my existence with? Is an answer I wish I could say. The pathway I create? Let's pick that. What do I harbor? Petty whims of circumstance, my haunting regrets. The limitation of this sad meat sack that I'm trapped in. Petty whims of circumstance. So does this information grant me better understanding of who I am? Let's try again. Who am I? I'm someone important, obviously. I'm someone feeling very confused. I'm someone who will know the answers to all my questions. Just give me a moment. Very confused. I'm warm, but everything around me is cold. It's an unsettling dichotomy that I'm currently fixated upon. The more I'm aware of it, the greater the contrast, the greater the discomfort. So much that there is kind of a pressure closing in. I think I need to... Huh? The canopy. It is being overripe plum ready to fall, if not already rotting on the ground. It's bright. A pleasant smell drifts through the air, delightfully fragrant. I can almost taste it. Gentle, calming breeze rustles the trees around me. My breath is relaxed. My vision is focused and clear. I'm standing firmly placed on the ground, vague sense of that a great weight has been lifted from my body. I'm clean, dressed, and otherwise well kept. How am I dressed? Where am I now? How is my overall condition? I test the dexterity of my fingers, move a few steps, and stretch my arms widely. My body is functioning and responding properly. I take a moment to admire the atmosphere. This garden is impressive. It doesn't feel familiar, yet I don't feel out of place here either. Heh, I'm fortunate to be dressed appropriately. And what beautifully manicured surroundings, bordering on ostentatious. I survey the landscape with a more critical gaze. Where am I? What is going on? The fountain in the middle of the courtyard grabs my attention. Two adults and a baby, I think. Yeah. Its details are impeccably crafted, yet the sight of it triggers a visceral disdain. My lips turn instantly down in disapproval. Why? Nevertheless, I approach it so curiously. Examine the fountain's adorning statue, drink from the bubbling water, throw in the fountain for good luck. A man, a woman, and a baby are sculpted in a loving embrace. Discover the Trio of Life statue. Throw something in for good luck. I check my pockets, but they are empty. I don't have anything on my person. Would there be any point to that silly ritual anyway? Staring into the pool of water at the base. The water is clear. I see my reflection staring back. I'm not surprised by what I see. Discovered my reflection. This is what I look like. Status. Power, empathy, logic. This is what I look like. Well, hello there. No, don't be alarmed. I'm just a traveler passing through. I didn't expect to see anyone way out here. Do you live nearby? How unusual. We are far from human and elven settlements. Oh, well, speak with me for a bit. I haven't met another living soul in ages. Hello. Why are you out here, miss? A good question. I like to explore quiet areas in order to study my art. What kind of art? The useful kind. Now don't be shy. Come closer. Let me take a good look at you. Huh? You're creepy. As I suspected, you have a very nice soul, young one. I would better go. Oh, how rude of me. I'm Noctis Moonfell, and I'm very pleased to make your acquaintance. Sorry, Miss Noctis, but I need to get back home now. Oh, but I have read the threads. You needn't look back to that old place. In fact, you needn't look back ever again. Your path is what lies ahead. Okay, Miss Farewell. Miss Farewell, Noctis. Just hums. The dead branches strewn about the forest floor suddenly grow, expanding into a twisted barrier that blocks the path. How? Are you wondering how I did that? This is my art. A very, very simple example of it. A mere parlor trick for any weaver. Weaver? You have so much potential. With enough refining, you might even find yourself becoming one of the greatest. I don't know. Come now. Try it for a bit and decide later. If you will only allow me to show you the threads. Young master. I remember now. My name is Ilian Boris. I am a weaver. Weavers are elven Magi? I don't know. Who can detect and manipulate the true essence inherent in all things. We call this essence threads, since they are, in layman's terms, thin dancing strands of light and color. Strange. The art style is so pretty. No matter how I try, I cannot see the threads. Not even the faintest aura. Once you have attuned to their presence, seeing them is simple as flexing a muscle. As sparse as my memories are, I'm positive of this fact, but you can flex all muscles, and you can forget how to do that. There can only be one explanation. My Weaver arts are somehow being suppressed. How excruciating. I need to solve this problem immediately. I don't know why I'm here, but regardless, waiting around won't accomplish anything. A tall hedge maze surrounds the fountain area. I can't see anything beyond its green walls. I should leave this garden as quickly as possible. I should follow the cobble path leading from the fountain. I should examine my surroundings in more depth. Death. Yes, exactly what it means. Let's follow the hedgeway. There's only one marked path. It is obvious which way I should go. I follow the winding cobble path. It spirals outward from the fountain. The further I walk, the more the walls brush close in. I pick up my pace. Soon I find... Now I'm completely lost sight of the fountain. I have no idea if I'm making any progress. As I walk away from the fountain, the tall hedge walls block my vision from all sides. The curvature of the path makes it impossible to gauge the distance ahead or behind me. I'm starting to feel claustrophobic. How long have I been walking down this garden path? I'm fairly certain this monotonous scenery is not improving my perception of things. After following the narrowing path for an indiscriminate amount of time, the walls finally began to separate. The path suddenly widens and my ears are pricked. I am surrounded by the hums and whistles of pecks of garden fauna. My nose is assaulted by the heavy, sweet fragrance of exotic flora. I might prefer the dull hedge wall path. In front of me is an elaborate display of flower beds teeming with every color imaginable. Despite its being full of life, the garden is eerily still. The pleasant breeze from before is gone. Not even the slightest movement of air is present. Something's going on, isn't it? The birds sound so close, yet you remain hidden. The smell is overbearing. Like a flamboyant noble's perfume. Was the world always so? What's the word I'm looking for? Superficial. That word seems to accurately describe at least one of the aspects of my current experience, but still fails to encapsulate everything I am processing at the moment. As words are inadequate as my current limited senses, or perhaps my neglected senses are not so vastly inferior to thread reading. After all, no words could convey the surfeit of information in a single thread. I suppose I have been spoiled by enlightenment. There is an important lesson to be had through regression. Shall I take another moment to observe my surroundings, what few senses I have left? Think I spotted that nosy bird. Is there anything at all of particular interest here? I slowly scanned the flower beds, taking in as many details as I can. Flower after flower, petal after petal, uniformly following the same distinct pattern of shape down to the smallest detail. It would be easy to gloss over such perfectly executed repetition? I think he meant that. To patiently treat each flower with individual attention is more difficult than imagined. I imagined. Keep observing the flower beds with scrutiny. Flower. All right. Third time's the charm. It's difficult to keep track of where I'm even looking. My eyes begin to water. I blink, feeling irritated. Vibrant colors only make this task more tiring. Nothing. The roses over there look slightly limp. All the flowers here are bloomed and pert, yet one rose bush over there seems to be slightly drooping. I examined the suspect roses more closely. They are arranged neatly on the garden post. However, the vines are being tucked down from somewhere near the base. Investigating further, I find a small green misshapen apple tucked under the brush. It's far from right and unpalatable yet. How odd. I have yet to see an apple tree here. Its size fits easily in my pocket. I might as well hold on to it for now. Unripe apple. No, unripe. I decide to make my way back into the hedge maze. I still can't see anything beyond its green walls, but there has to be another way to go. Returning to the cobblestone path, I notice another pathway leading roughly north. I can't remember this divergence. Was it here before? Turning my back on the flower beds, I'm thankful smells and noises fade as quickly as they had come. I just start heading north when the path suddenly opens to another dead end. There is only about 10 feet of grass between the path and tremendous stone wall. Looking in both directions, I cannot see how far the wall extends, as the view is blocked by vegetation. Looking upwards, I feel dizzy at the unending height of the wall. I take a step backwards. The immensity of the structure makes me feel rather small in comparison. I close my eyes to regain my balance. Another memory we have. Child, have you been kidnapped? How long do I have to stay here? It's boring. It's dark and I don't like being alone. Nothing is happening. I hate it here. It smells. But Father says I have to be perfectly still and perfectly quiet. Nothing is happening. How much longer? I'm thirsty and my throat itches. To flex, I shall drink some water. I'm not thirsty. It's been forever already. I really hate this. There's a faint sound of faraway footsteps. The footsteps sound like they're getting closer. I hear the sound of a cold wind. I feel like something bad is coming. I can't choose anything in these little memories. No! That unpleasant recollection was remarkably vivid. Upon opening my eyes, I'm snapped back to reality. The formidable stones in front of me have a specific texture, color, smell. They all remind me of being trapped inside that castle so long ago. This wall, like everything in this garden, is peculiar. There doesn't appear to be any doors, nor windows leading to the other side of this wall, not a single peeping hole or crack. I suppose if I built a castle, I wouldn't need a conventional way of coming and going, but who would actually build such an impractical thing? Even the best of us grow weary of weaving now and then. There doesn't seem to be another pathway from maze to be found here. A literal dead end. Back to the maze I go. I'm about to head back into the maze when something along the bottom of the wall catches my eye. Peeking out from where the wall was overrun by hedges, I spot the tip of a pale grey root. Root, not root. It looks dead. The groundskeeping here is otherwise perfect. How was such a thing left here? Clear the surrounding bushes, dirt and grass from the root. I tear into the hedge brush with my hands. The sharp needles cut into my skin. Long before I've had enough. Before long I've had enough. I switch to digging in the ground. The dirt and debris is getting lodged in my fingernails. After a while, more root is revealed. It's thick and undoubtedly extends far beyond where I care to dig. I'm curious to see what this root belongs to, but scratching away is clearly insufficient. I don't blame the groundskeeper for leaving it behind. Removing it will require proper tools, and this music is very dramatic for what is going on. I'm simply uncovering a dead root. As unsettling as my memories have been, I'm still anxious to learn more about both myself and this place. I re-enter the maze with anticipation, curiosity, and apprehension. The insurmountable wall left me with creeping suspicion. If the stone wall encompasses the garden entirely, how oppressive this place must be. If so, no matter how large it is, the garden would be nothing more than an elaborate cage. It's not long into the maze before the air shifts, and a fresh scent wafts towards me. I hasten my approach towards the new clearing. The hedge thingy-majig thing keeps changing on me. The smell of ripe fruit is sick. No, not sick. Sorry, sweet and crisp. It's more subdued and refreshing than the sickening— oh, there I found the word sick. Sickening perfume of the flower beds. There are rows upon rows of various fruit trees, all perfectly organized. The ground is even. Not a single piece of fallen fruit to be seen. Fruit! Fruit, fruit, fruit. Every variety apple one could imagine can be seen on the other end of the orchard. At the opposite end are various citrus fruits, oranges, lemons, and limes. Apples are one of my favorites. Let's take a closer look. I'm not averse to citrus fruit, but they deserve a closer inspection. I'm gonna go with citrus fruit. I've gotten rid of the smell of oranges from my hand, but it stuck around like 5 hours, and I despised it. I ate oranges this morning, and I can't stand when my fingers smell like something. Even right now, my fingers kind of smell like something. I think it's the chips I was eating. I can't stand it, but it's less piercing smell than oranges. Getting closer, my skin begins to prickle. It would be best to observe without touching. The oils in the peel make itchy. The oils in the peel make itchy. That sounds adorable somehow. As I glance up and down the rows and rows of colorful fruit, the absurdity of their uniform perfection strikes me. Not a single discolored or misshapen ring, not an underripe or overripe fruit to be found. If the flower beds seemed unreal, these fruit trees are even more impossible. After truthful evaluation, I spot an odd twig, about the size of a chicken's wishbone, dangling from one of the trees. It hangs so precariously that a strong breeze might be enough to dislodge it. Grab the odd twig and pull it out. Inspect the twig without touching it. I'm not keen on the idea of touching the citrus trees, whether it has an odd branch or not. Upon closer inspection, the small twig looks entirely separate from the tree. Comparison to a wishbone was an apt one, as it consists of nothing more than two perfectly symmetrical sprigs, growing from a short base no longer than my hand. It's delicately bare, as though someone pared it down with a knife. Someone started work on a useless project and it ended up in an orange tree. I can't see how that could be any concern to me now. I'm slightly irritated at that thought. I take in another deep breath of refreshing air. Shoot, I think I missed something. Could there even be a more complex or wondrous theory of existence than the theory of threads? Surely threads themselves can be broken down and analyzed further. Don't you agree, Master Elian? I suppose you could always break anything down into smaller and smaller parts, like an infinite nesting doll. What would it matter, though, when most of the sentient world can barely wrap their psyches around threads? Weaving has been around since before the dawn of modern age, but we need to evolve past the old ways. Even humans and beasts has developed a crude method for manipulating threads, yet none of us has devised a way of doing so without a cost. The price we pay for the power we exert. Like you've always said, weaving is not for the faint of mind, as well as you know. However, upon witnessing the growth of your talents, I wonder if I should reconsider that paradigm. As well as you know, I despise lathering of praise. It's unnecessary and unbecoming of you. Too humble for your own potential. It's one thing holding you back from your true desire. Oof. You know a lot more than you reveal, but that's... I know why you have come to this moment. It's quite obvious, young master. But the inherent cost of weaving is a problem, isn't it? Will you choose to waste your life away, trapped within the confines of the broken system? I very much doubt that is why you chose this path. Wasn't it to move ever forward? I have seen a way for you to break through the limitation of our paradigm. You must ascend. Interesting. Have I ascended? The ascension ritual. Interesting. So many things about this place and how my memories became dismantled suddenly makes perfect sense to me. With vigor, I head back to the hedge maze. So many thoughts are flooding my mind that I'm eager to get moving, to sort and cipher through them all. In order to see beyond the threads and gain a deeper insight, I need to open my mind to a new way. In a new way. And to clear away previous misconceptions, I needed to undertake the ascension ritual. That is how I began so disorientated and lost my powers. I needed to fully free myself of that whole mindset. As for this bizarre garden, there's a good probability that I'm still undergoing the ritual at this moment. There must be something I'm supposed to discover here in order to complete the ascension. I paused to note a bend in the pathway. I must be close to another area that warrants my attention. I've entered what appears to be an area for social gatherings. There's a pavilion in the center of the patio. Several tables and chairs are under its roof. Gloves, parasols, glasses, plates, and other random possessions are strewn about. I half expected to find a random gantry hiding amongst the plants. Inspect under the gazebo. Gazebo. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Did you figure that out yet? I step onto the blah. A dozen chairs are laid out in a circle with small tables. Upon the tables are plates, silverware, glassware, and napkins. Stuffed under the tables and chairs are various personal possessions belonging presumably to both gentlemen and women. Inspect the personal belongings. Riding shoes, purse. The fancy bag has nothing inside. I shouldn't be surprised. A decorative, yet completely empty container. Am I detecting some sort of a theme here? Discovered the fancy purse. As I leave the patio, I notice an abandoned glass of wine sitting by the entrance. I don't remember seeing this on my way in. The delicate glass is quarter-filled with thick red wine. A distinct lip stain remains on the rim. I remember every detail of this glass, right down to the shape of those lethargic fat lips. Wow! He never did seem to stop drinking, nor did he ever finish his glass. The waste is beyond disgraceful. He deserves what's coming to him. Indeed, he should welcome it. Well done. Congratulations, you've completed your training. No more hiding. You needn't ever fear the council again. They wouldn't dream of touching you. None of that. You are a master leaver now. I am young for a master leaver, because we saw what I looked like when I was a teenager, a young adult, and I'm still clearly a child. I became a master quite early. Time to move forward from this place as well, shall we? All right. Excellent. As always, it's a privilege to witness your unending growth. Come, Master Ilian. Don't look back. The moment I decided to complete my training, that was when my fate was set. I glanced one last time at the wine glass before leaving the patio. Did I ever feel even the slightest of regrets? Yes. With that thought, I have become defensively numb. I never truly hesitated again after that. I've decided I'm done with this place, and I head back to the hedge maze. So far, I've been able to remember who I am and why I have come here. And I still don't have a clear idea what ascension is, nor how I will achieve it. To understand a deeper, more complete truth than dreads, I still have no idea what that could be. My pace slows, and I stare ahead without focusing on one thing. Could I have already missed all the clues? What happens if I fail? Regardless, I will know it when I find it. I just need to keep going. Everything I've experienced must be leading to something. It will become clearer as I move on. These thoughts alone won't change my current situation. Is there another approach contrary to the one I'm following? That is an interesting question. Is there another path I could be following? I'm about to get lost in another tangent when the pathway is abruptly blocked by an emerging stone wall. Is this an extension of the wall from before? The type of stone is the same, so I would consider this to be very likely. The stone is similar, but I really shouldn't jump to that conclusion. Perhaps, but what does it matter if it is or isn't? I follow along the wall. I spot a closed door several feet away. It never occurred to me how many possibilities a single door would arouse. It is strange you are leaving. an unexpected but a welcome sight. My optimism fades as I approach the door, the air growing eerily cold. Nothing else has changed in my surroundings, but I barely contain a shiver as the door looms closer. Wrapping my arms under my cloak, I approach the door with growing apprehension. I'm about to reach the door, but my hand freezes. Reach for the door. Fighting my instincts, I force my shaky hand forward, my heart racing, and I have an overwhelming desire to flee. Ignore the feeling and push against the door. I grit my teeth and push through my fear. The door is heavy and my arms tremble. Scared, frustrated, desperate, I let out a primal cry, and with that, it has all become too much. I close my eyes, feeling extremely fatigued. Oh! Enough. I'm growing weary of this game. Apathy sets in. I'm nostalgic for any and every creature comfort I once had. An entertaining read, a juicy crisp apple, a soothing bath, a good night's sleep. I wished, upon that opening my eyes, I would find myself awake at last. I wished to find myself sitting up in my bed, clothes, in my own room, surrounded by my own carefully curated belongings, and to be fully embraced by the old sensible reality that I have always known. Opening my eyes, I find myself in front of the ominous door once more. The cold cuts through me like a knife. The feeling of dread sweeps through me once more, head to toe. No matter, even if nothing but the bleakest abyss awaits me on the other side, I'm done here. I push forward the heavy door with all my might. I'm greeted by darkness. I'm being watched, judged, sentenced. Am I dead? The ground gives way under my feet. The very last thing I feel is the sensation of free falling. Noctis. Another failure. How disappointing. The end. Okay. I died. Well, that's very nice. I'm gonna leave this episode here. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked it. I'm gonna find an end. We'll find another thing here, I suppose. This isn't the only chapter episode I'm gonna make of this. We'll be back, I promise. Anyway, I hope you liked this episode. Subscribe, like, comment, you know the drill. I hope you have a good day, and bye.